There was a lot. This was former President Trump's 7th general election presidential debate, while Vice President Harris returned to Philadelphia as the newcomer on the presidential debate stage. Tonight, both candidates look to define themselves to voters and define each other with caustic personal attacks. Stepping on stage in silence, it was Vice President Harris who offered her hand and introduction.
Kamala Harris. Let's have a good debate.
Nice to see you. Have fun.
Thank you.
That's where the pleasantries ended. In their first face-to-face meeting ever, the bitter rivals quickly turned on each other's record.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century. Donald Trump left us the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. And what we have done is clean up Donald Trump's mess.
People can't go out and buy cereal or bacon or eggs or anything else. The people of our country are absolutely dying with what they've done. They've destroyed the economy.
Standing just 6 feet apart, the major party candidates made it clear they would make two very different presidents, especially when it comes to abortion.
For 52 years, they've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states. And through the genius and heart and strength of 6 Supreme Court justices, we were able to do that.
The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body.
Former President Trump repeatedly hammered Vice President Harris on immigration and record border crossings during the Biden administration.
Millions of people pouring into our country from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums, and they're coming in and they're taking jobs that are occupied right now by African Americans and Hispanics.
The United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security bill, which I supported.
And in turn, Harris, a former prosecutor, brought up the former president's criminal record. On America's standing in the world in active wars in Israel and Ukraine, the two contenders for commander-in-chief offered opposing views and fired at each other.
This war must end. It must end immediately, and the way it will end is we need a ceasefire deal and we need the hostages out.
If I were president, Russia would have never, ever, I know Putin very well, he would have never, and there was no threat of it either, by the way, for 4 years, have gone into Ukraine.
With no love lost and a lot of policies covered, the two candidates made it perfectly clear there is little crossover in their views for the country. And that was just a sample of the 90 minutes. Each candidate repeatedly returned to the issues that they are viewed as strong on by voters: the economy and immigration for former President Trump, and women's reproductive rights, and Trump's criminal record for Vice President Harris.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.